the main difference that we had in crypto between 2017 and 2021 is that back in 2017, the only thing we could do in crypto was just to speculate on the coin price and invest in ICOs. In 2021, however, there's so much more you can do with your crypto. You can literally put them to work for you, let your coins generate yield for you. And there's many different ways that if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you're already aware of how liquidity mining, yield farming, staking, all these kind of things work. Today, however, I want to give 2 major alpha leaks of things that are now coming up and potentially also in retrospect, you can get an airdrop for. And if you want to learn about these things, then make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, number 1. Number 2, like this video, share it with 1 or 2 friends on your LinkedIn, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, wherever you want. And number 3, also make sure that you watch this entire thing. Before we get into my 2 alpha leaks, I want to say big thank you for everyone to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's been a crazy journey and I'm excited to finally have achieved 10,000 subscribers. That has been one of my major goals when I started this channel. Like, man, if one day I would just get 10,000 subscribers, that would be absolutely amazing. And here we are. It took me 1.5 years, more or less, to get there. And we have done a couple of giveaways along the way. I announced this last week when I started to do my Twitter campaign, my Twitter giveaway, where I also achieved 10,000 followers on Twitter, that I'm also going to do a separate giveaway for my YouTube achievement. So this giveaway is currently on. I'm going to share the tweet under this video so that you can go over to Twitter and you can do all the tasks there and participate in the giveaway, because I'm giving away almost $800, $900, I think, at current prices. You get some Atom, you get some HBAR, you get some DVPN, you get some Osmo. You get basically a starter package that, in my opinion, is maybe even a portfolio potentially that can 10x from here. So this could potentially be worth a lot of money in the future. And yeah, I just want to give back to you guys for supporting me, for engaging also. I know some of you are really, really active out there, promoting my videos, sharing my content, getting friends to like, hey man, look at this video. There's so much alpha in here. There's so many cool things. So really, really appreciate that. Now, another thing I wanted to share with you before we get into my 2 alpha leaks is that the Cosmoverse conference is coming together incredibly well. We just decided to add another day. So Cosmoverse is now a 2-day conference in Lisbon, Portugal, November 5th and November 6th. The first day agenda has been completely overbooked. The demand for this event is absolutely insane. I think by now all tickets are actually sold out for now for the first batch. I think there's just 5 or 10 tickets left. So if you want them, you have to do this really, really fast and get your tickets now. Otherwise, there might be an opportunity that we have a 3rd sale, because now, as in Portugal, the COVID restrictions get lifted, we might fit more people into the venue, which is really, really cool, because then we have more cosmonauts that can come together. So I really hope we can get this through. And while at the same time, obviously also keeping in mind all the COVID precautions and all those kind of things. So we have to play by the rules here, but it's overwhelming, the demand for this event. How many people want to get involved? We have already almost 30 speakers confirmed. So this is going to be the event of the year, I think, especially in this time in Lisbon. We have so much going on here, but Cosmoverse is coming together incredibly nice. Lead sponsors is the Cosmos Hub with the community funds. And also we made a proposal on Osmosis that within 6 hours reached quorum. Within 6 hours reached quorum with 99.93% voting for yes to sponsor 4,000 Osmo to contribute to the Cosmoverse conference. Guys, this is absolutely amazing. This is a hybrid DAO/company funded conference. There's a lot of money involved now as this conference is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we have to also keep an eye on the finances here. But thanks to the community, thanks to also some other sponsors, we are already very well on track. And it's just been amazing over the past 6 weeks how this came together so fast. Okay, so first of all, what you have to do is also to go over on Twitter and give a follow to Stakecito. Stakecito is my validator node that I'm running together with 2 friends from Stakes and Stone. They're good friends of mine for a couple of years now. I met Sergey a couple of years in China a couple of years ago, and he's a friend of Jonas. I'm also going to get them on my channel here so we can talk about Stakecito, how things work, how things go also under the hood, and also share some best practices to kind of like show you how things work to setting up a node, what's the technical requirements, how much time do you need to invest, how much budget do you need to consider, all these kind of things, because a lot of people have asked me. But yeah, give a follow to Stakecito. We just made this account brand new. And as you can see, we also have a node on Juno, which went live yesterday. So that's going to be really, really interesting because I'm a big fan of that project, and also bought my first Juno coins this morning. And with Stakecito, we're running nodes on Cosmos, on the Cosmos Hub with Atom. So you can delegate your atoms to our node. I think it's currently ranked number 91 or 92, something like that. Osmosis Osmo is actually blowing up. We're somewhat 31, 32. We have a lot of like also recurring delegations from people that just daily claim and delegate to our node. So that's really, really awesome. Thanks for everyone who's doing that. Persistence, brand new, that we just got into the validator set because the persistence chain now allows for 75 nodes. They expanded it from 50 to 75. Region network, we're not yet in the validator set, but we're going to get there somehow. So we're still in the bootstrapping phase here, and also hopefully can get a delegation from the foundation. This would be really awesome to help bring us into the validator set and start producing blocks. Juno, like I mentioned, brand new. Actually, it's also going really, really well. If we look here on junoscan.com, we're already on 32. So this is really cool. 50,000, more than 50,000 Juno got delegated to our node. And also Casper, which is a non-Cosmos chain. But I'm also an early investor there. So I have, we also decided to run a node here. You can also delegate to us. We're via cspr.live. Our IXO node actually just went live this morning. So you can also start delegating to Stakecito on the IXO chain. Sentinel is in the works. ETHMOS, previously Ethermint, and Yumi is both also in the works once they go live, and many, many more. So really, really appreciate your support here. And yeah, I have big plans with Stakecito. Actually, it was completely coincidental how we set it up, how everything came together. But I love being involved in that. I love producing blogs. Also learning crypto from a completely different angle besides just speculating on the coin price. So this is really exciting. Maybe in the future, there's also some cool things we can do and give back for the community. So just that's why it makes sense to also delegate to us here. Okay, so now let me get into the biggest alpha leak that I have right now here for you guys in the Cosmos ecosystem. And that is Juno. And guys, if you remember a couple of months ago, we were one of the first ones here to detect osmosis and to kind of like also show how you can provide liquidity, how you can earn passive income, how you can have different strategies to also compound your daily rewards in a crazy way. So I know a lot of you guys are making crazy amounts of money. A lot of you guys have been qualified for the Sunny airdrop, which was for Osmo stakers, holders, and liquidity providers. But now this is something new, something different. I don't know if many people talk about this, especially outside of the Juno or Cosmos ecosystem. I think there's not many of them. But anyway, Juno just launched, and it's basically a smart contract platform. So it's a layer 1 that is running and built on the Cosmos chain. And the good thing about it is that there are no VC early investors. There's no seed round investors. This is completely from the community for the community, right? So it's a kind of like very open, fair launch project that has been now announced and in works for many, many months now, probably over a year at that point. And yeah, the first batch of coins was distributed to Atom stakers. You must have staked your atoms natively on the Atom chain. I've talked to you about this so many times. Don't hold your atoms on centralized exchanges like Binance, Kraken, or Coinbase. Hold them in self-custody. I can recommend Kepler and also Cosmos Station. Cosmos Station has a mobile app. The Kepler mobile version is coming out very soon. But you must have held them in self-custody and staked natively on chain to be qualified to the Juno airdrop, and also not delegated to centralized exchanges, right? So if you know, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, they're also running nodes on Cosmos. But yeah, if you're delegated to them, then you're not qualified for that, right? So it's really, really, really a community-centric project. And yeah, I think that's super interesting. Now, the alpha leak here is that the Juno pools are now officially open to the interchain AMM, and that is Osmosis Zone, right? So Osmosis Zone is the first DEX where you can trade Juno and where you can also now provide liquidity for in these two pools, Juno Osmo pool number 497 and Juno Atom 498. Okay, so the thing is right now, there's no liquidity rewards. Okay, so if you provide liquidity in those pools, the only thing you can get is the swap fee proportional to how much you have in that pool, but you don't earn additional Osmo in farming, right? Which was what we're used to. For example, in pool 15, the XPRT pool, you earn 170, 190, maybe I think sometimes 200% APR. But right now, these pools are not incentivized yet. However, if we scroll down a little bit further here, Wolf Contract Imasi, he tweeted out, thanks for Zaki and Strangelove, which is basically Jack Sempolin, for helping with early Juno liquidity legends. Massive shout out to the community as well. Currently, there's more than $700,000 in liquidity on Osmosis Zone on day one, basically within less than 6 hours, which is absolutely crazy. And dual incentives are coming soon. So actually, there was a governance proposal on the Osmosis network that was asking the community, hey, do you want incentives for Juno pools on Osmosis? And the community said yes. And I think on top of that, since all the supply will be given out to the community, I think on top of that, they're also going to add Juno incentives on top of your Osmosis incentives. So I've talked about this extensively here for the XPRT pair, which is also going to add dual incentives once the Osmo farming threshold reaches a certain limit. And then they're going to add XPRT incentives as well. And the same is going to happen on Juno. So you'll be able to farm both at the same time. And yeah, the price at $5.01, absolutely amazing. Really, really cool to see. Actually, here on osmosis.info, you can see that currently I have to refresh the price. Well, we're at $7 back up again. Info.osmosis.zone/token/Juno. You can see the chart, you can see the liquidity, the volume, the price, all these kind of things. So that's really interesting. And yeah, that's why keep an eye on that. I think that's probably one of the biggest alpha leaks that you can receive right now. I bought my Juno this morning at around $5, above $5. And yeah, so I'm trying to scale in actually to increase my exposure to Juno, also throw money into some liquidity pools to anticipate for the farming rewards that are coming up. I have no idea what the APY is going to be, so please don't ask me for that. I have no clue. But yeah, usually it pays off to be very early with those things. Now, the second alpha leak I have for you is PSTAKE. And PSTAKE is something that I've covered here already multiple times on my channel. Actually, when it came out, I also did a tutorial, a lot of different things. But PSTAKE is now on the next level. So up until now, they have been in the kind of like bootstrapping phase. They had a capped kind of like amount in which you could bridge your atoms over to PSTAKE. But now it's uncapped. Now there's pools on SushiSwap, and there's going to be a reverse airdrop or reverse incentives for people that provide early liquidity on SushiSwap. So pstake.finance, something that you also receive an airdrop for if you held Cosmos Atom or Persistence XPRT that you held during the snapshot, which was on September 2nd, 2021. And yeah, to claim your incentives, you can put in here your address to see how much you are eligible for. And there's also a very important guide that you need to check out if you want to claim your airdrop, right? So if you go on pstake.finance and click on airdrop, it will just tell you how many coins you're eligible to claim. But now you need to send the magic transaction in order to claim your PSTAKE airdrop, right? And I don't know how long this is actually valid. I haven't seen a date yet, a deadline, but 6% of the total Genesis supply are being given out as an airdrop, which is a lot. 6% is a lot. So who gets the airdrop? First of all, PSTAKE is an ERC20 token, which in my opinion, and I'm just guessing, could potentially be a farming reward for providing liquidity on DEXs on Ethereum in order to counter the high transaction fees, right? Because PSTAKE, if you recall and remember, is a liquid staking solution, which enables you to not just liquefy your staked atoms, because right now you can't do anything with your atoms if we stake them through Kepler, right? But you can liquefy them. And then the PSTAKE algorithm will split that up or delegate that to whatever node. There's some equation that tells, okay, how much uptime does this node have in order to qualify to be kind of like considered from a delegation by PSTAKE. I guess this is all automated, maybe in the beginning, not yet, but I think it's going to be automated pretty soon. Hopefully they're going to consider Stakecito as well, by the way. But yeah, so the atoms get natively staked on the Cosmos chain through PSTAKE. Then you get an ERC20 representation of that staked asset, which is called STK Atom, and that's an ERC20 token. In order to do that, however, you have to pay Ethereum gas fees because now we're in Ethereum world, right? And I know a lot of people are like, hey man, this really sucks. We wanted to get rid of that. We don't want to deal with Ethereum, right? We want to kind of like be in that Cosmos environment only. But I think the purpose here and the benefits is that you can, one, earn additional yield in Ethereum DeFi, which is kind of like the godfather of DeFi. And number two, you can also have new users from Ethereum DeFi, right? So you can actually send Atom exposure onto Ethereum DeFi. And that's something I think a lot of people underestimate, especially if the yields are high. And I think that's exactly where PSTAKE as the coin or the token comes in, because PSTAKE could be that ultimate game theoretic piece in this big puzzle that could incentivize a lot of Ethereum users to say, hey, what is this PSTAKE thing? Why can I farm it with such high APYs? And why do I need STK Atom for it, right? So potentially this could be big, like Lido came out of nowhere and is now one of the largest ETH liquid staking solutions out there. So in a similar way, I think PSTAKE could be the killer application for Atom liquid staking. And this, at the same time, takes a lot of atoms out of the supply, because those atoms are, or out of the circulation, not out of the supply, but out of the circulation, because those atoms are natively staked to the network, which means the velocity of those atoms is kind of like decreased by a lot, because they're still on chain, right? They're still securing the underlying network, and people are just on a layer above using that in other DeFi endeavors. So this is really interesting. Now, I will link the article down below here under this video, but it's actually a full guide here where, like I explained earlier, you check in your address here, and then I will tell you how many coins you can receive, and then you have to connect it to your claim address. Basically, you manually type that in, your claim address, which is your Ethereum address that you must hold in self-custody, not your Kraken Ethereum deposit address, not your Binance deposit address, your MetaMask address, your Ledger address, whatever address that you hold self-custody of. And then you have to do the magic transaction, right? Which is basically just a very simple transaction. You can do it through Cosmos Station mobile wallet, which is what they're incentivizing here, because I think it's just launched and, you know, probably they have a partnership or whatever. But I think you can also just do it through Kepler. At least that's what I did. I have the Cosmos Station wallet though. So I did, because I have multiple accounts. So some transactions I did through Cosmos Stations, some transactions I did through Kepler. And this is the recipient address. You need to send 0.000001 in Atom or in XPRT to it. And then you, as third step, you need to leave your Ethereum address, which will be receiving the airdrop PSTAKE tokens, in the memo field, right? So here it also says again, not an exchange address. We do not guarantee for the safety of MetaMask either, but I use MetaMask. There's other ways, other non-custodial wallets that you can use, but you have to do that. And then boom, that's the magic transaction. The same goes for XPRT holders, same thing, and boom. There's no date yet when these PSTAKE tokens get distributed, but I think it's going to come very soon. Also, and this is actually the alpha leak I wanted to get down to, is that PSTAKE users can now provide liquidity to the STK Atom /ETH pool on SushiSwap. you earn 7% staking rewards, which is the underlying kind of like staking rewards that is fixed for now, at least, from the Atom staking. Then you earn trading fees from the pool in which you are providing liquidity for, right? And on Ethereum, those trading fees, given that the transactions are so high, could have a high monetary value. And then the LP rewards retroactively, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Potentially, PSTAKE could be that game theoretic piece in the puzzle, which balances out impermanent loss and which balances out and compensates for the high gas fees on Ethereum, right? Because to be honest, if Ethereum and Bitcoin go up in value, and there's going to be a new influx of traders and demand and people that want to buy those coins, the gas fees are going to go through the roof again, which means that if you're not rich, you're not going to have fun on Ethereum DeFi, right? Unless there's an LP token, LP reward, which compensates for those high gas fees, right? So that even if you just have like $300, $400, $500 in liquidity in these pools, if the LP rewards are high to cover and maybe even generate profit with your, even though you have these high gas fees, I think then it would make sense. So we have to wait and see. This is all speculation. I'm still doing it now because I'm just guessing and anticipating that, hey, there's something coming which could potentially be big. So I don't want to miss out, right? I want to be there from the very beginning. But do that at your own risk. Also take an hour or something to like really understand what you're doing, where you need to click, you know, to not mess up the transactions. Like just take some time and do that with PSTAKE. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, I hope you learned something actually finally, because a lot of people have also asked me that. How can I stake my Juno? Right. So right now you cannot do it natively on Kepler. You have to go on juno.omniflix.co/stake. And if you go there, it will also already open your Kepler wallet. You have to insert your password and it will ask you to add your Juno network, the Juno mainnet to your Kepler. So you have to click yes. And then you see all these nodes here, right? And if you were to say, hey, I want to support Stakecito, you search for Stakecito. Commission is right now at 8%. We're going to lower it down to 5%, but you can also only lower it 2%, I think, every 24 hours. And previously it was at 10% when we launched. So now it's going to be at 8, tomorrow at 6, and then at 5. You click delegate and we'll tell you what's your balance, and boom, that's it, right? Remember, if you buy your Juno on Osmosis, you first have to withdraw them from the Osmosis chain onto the Juno chain, because if it's on the Osmosis chain, it will not detect your balances here, right? Because think in IBC logic, if your coins are on the Osmosis chain, but OmniFlix front end just is connected to the Juno chain, then it will not detect that you have balances there, right? So keep that in mind. Make first a withdrawal from Osmosis onto Juno by clicking on assets, and then you see your Juno balances and you click withdraw to the Juno chain, and then you will be able to see it here once you click on delegate, and boom, that's it. I hope that helps. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed today's alpha session and alpha leaks. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. And I hope you stay safe and be good. Take care.